Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me once again. And as you might notice three things a bit different to normal. My name is Nick. The first thing you notice is we're not outside. Well, we haven't been outside for a while. The reason is, well, time really. But I've got a new camera. Now, members would already seen the members video last time. I was experimenting with it a little bit. But we've gone into a bit of a different room. I'm still learning about it and I need to upgrade my lighting because your setup, I've learned, is only as good as the weakest link. And the weakest link at the moment is the lighting. So, after months and months of talking about it, with your support, we finally upgraded the camera. It is a major upgrade, but I'm not quite getting the most out of it at the moment because, as I say, a few other bits, but it should be a bit better. I am in a high res. On the members video on Sunday, members would have seen that, I think, if you looked at it. The internal mic on the camera was a little bit quiet. I can fix that for next time. But this time we're in a slightly different room. So therefore that's one of the three things as well. I haven't been counting how many I've done. But I've got the my normal mic when I do my voiceovers on the videos connected to my computer. So we'll sync those two together. When we're outside on previous Friday walks, because the wind on the camera, my older camera, sometimes got on the mic, sometimes it makes things a bit tricky. Today, in fact, an external Rode attachment, external mic, has arrived with a bit of a fluffy bit on the end, which is supposed to deflect wind. So hopefully, very, very soon, I'll be doing an outside walk again with better resolution, more light in the camera, and there we go. But as I say, the equipment's only as good as the person that was using it. But the old camera, which I got really good use out of, it's 3.2 megapixels. This one's quite a bit more. I think it's in the 20s, perhaps it might be even pushing 30s. Just allows a more light in the lens, and eventually we got a better finish. So you're going to get better pictures and better sound, in theory. So yes, I ran out of time a bit. We're filming this in the evenings. There's no real natural light, just giving the camera a little bit of a test. If indeed it is still recording. Thank you. Now, so it's Friday chat. We're back. There wasn't one last week, which I apologise for. And there wasn't last week. There wasn't a live stream, which I apologise for as well. But I do as much as I possibly can. As you can see, we are moving. Next thing on the list, because it's slow moving on the live stream, I've now got two screens. That happened quite a long time ago. We've done the camera, we've got the external mic through, I've got an external hard drive as well to offload stuff on my computer. The next thing is a gimbal, so I can hold the camera so it's not wobbling as much, but that's quite cheap, so you should be able to get that soon. And the next thing is really for the quality of the outside videos again. I've got movie, I edit the videos to something called Movie Platinum 12, which is very, very basic, and I consider myself an expert on that now. I've got the most out of it, but it came out quite a number of years ago, probably about the same time I got the camera. I've got my eye on Movie Studio, the full version in 2022, which has got a lot more things I can do with it, because then I say, although I've got a lot to learn in filming, in editing, I'm sort of like pretty good, I would say, with what I have. So it's all about learning and expanding and giving you more. I know a lot of you aren't bothered about the tech, but it makes me feel a bit better really to offer as much as I possibly can to compete, at least compete with the pros, or try to. Anyway, so I hope you like watching the videos this week. The gaming videos tend to be about 6 each time. I'll quickly go over them in case you've missed any. So if you want to go back, show them some love or do some comments there, you can do. Might need some new things for the background, but it's filling it out quite nicely. Did look at Funko Pops. Nick, you're getting distracted again. Yes. Last Saturday we looked on ZX Spectrum. We always look at 2 ZX Spectrum games there. We looked at Dev Chess 5000. Yes, Dev Chess 5000. You got a choice of ordinary chess or Dev Chess. What would you pick as a kid? You would pick Dev Chess 5000. Although Battle Chess come later on the Commodore Amiga, it does sort of remind me of that sort of affair, that sort of thing. Whenever you take a piece, or whenever the computer takes a piece of yours, it's not automatic who wins the piece, you go into a minigame. There's not too many minigames there, but yeah, for what is there is sort of okay. I'm looking over here, just hang on 2 seconds. Right, it's still it's still recording. A professional would edit that out, but they won't do because it's warts and all this channel. Only if I do a big sneeze I'll edit that out, and I don't think that's going to happen quite yet. Shouldn't have put the light down there because it creates shadow like this. Nincompoopin! Anyway, you'll look back to these. Hopefully you can see an evolution on this thing. Yes. The other game we looked at was Narco Police. didn't really get the best out of this, to be fair. You're running down tunnels. A fifth of the world is addicted to narcotics. It's the year 2003. You control 3 groups in 3 tunnels. To be successful, you really need to get used to the side computer on the right-hand side of the screen, typing in commands to flick between your 2 people, do teleports, and fire missiles. But it's quite clever what the ZX Spectrum is doing. Good to see it on the Amiga at some point. That was Narco Police. The homebrew we looked at a couple of days ago, because they always go up on the Wednesday, is Manic for Noobs by Bob the Polar Bear in 2021. Now, what I think has happened here, it's a nice challenge. I really love this and a good addition to the Manic Miner games. What Bob the Polar Bear has done is, I think when he's played Manic Miner, or she, Bob, sounds like a man. Well, there's a person in Blackadder called Bob. Anyway, what he's done, is I think every level where they've had a problem, they've put in extra levels or try and simplify it. So levels like the Menagerie are a bit easier to complete. Now, because I've got sort of like an autopilot Manic Miner brain, I found it a little bit more difficult. So it's Manic for Noobs, but I found it tricky initially. But some stages are Eugene's Lair is a lot easier, as I say, the Menagerie. So that was Manic for Noobs. So check that one down if you haven't seen it already, and indeed the whole playlist there. On the PlayStation 4, we dipped our toe in there again. Again, looking at the Wipeout Omega collection. It's come out in 2017. There's HD remakes of 3 games: Wipeout, Wipeout HD, Fury, and Wipeout 2048. It's a game I had on my PS Vita, but it's good to see it on the PlayStation 4. It's anti-grav futuristic racing. My favourite games of these are Roll Cage on PlayStation 1, although that's a lot more basic than this. Speed is really, really fast. Music isn't too high, so I didn't get done for any copyright situations. So a real fast game. I know we're mainly into our retro stuff here, but occasionally we look at PlayStation 4 thing, as we did Wreckfest before. So it's Wipeout 2048, lots of different tracks to perfect. Yeah, it takes some skill to go around the corners, but as soon as you learn the tracks, you'll be winning quite a lot. What does that leave? 2 other games. On the Commodore Amiga, we looked at Gauntlet on the Spectrum a few... about last week, I think. Now we looked at Gauntlet 3, the final quest on the Amiga. Again, it's in isometric. I said on the review of the Spectrum version, I really preferred Gauntlet as a top-down thing because that had the speed to it. Something is lost in isometric. Although it's a clever game, it hasn't got the excitement for me. If they called it something else, it would have been rather cool. You do get 4 additional characters you can pick to be. There's multiplayer there as well, but you know, it's okay, but not using the Amiga's full thing. It's not in the spirit of Gauntlet. It's called Gauntlet 3, the final quest, but there is a Gauntlet 4 on the Mega Drive where that goes back to a top-down glory. And the last game, a really cool game on the Atari 2600. I'm always a sucker for maze games, so I thought this would, I'd like this straight away. It's Dark Cavern. So Dark Cavern, yeah, as I say, you control a man wandering around a maze, and essentially he must survive as long as he possibly can. There's robots that will shoot him, there's spiders that turn up, and also bats. Bats are wiggly whirly things. It says that it's bats in the instructions, so let's go with that. And you've got a limited amount of bullets, but you can get new bullets by collecting the gun icon, which turns out at random points of the maze. I would have played this a lot of times as a kid, similar to Alien, I suppose, but influenced by Pac-Man as well. So that was the 6 games there. Yes, how's it going in high res? I have to wash and shave properly and maybe get some new clothes. Look, I got this McLaren top. Can you see that? McLaren, I've never worn that before. Oops, I just stepped away from the microphone. So you might have heard that, but it's McLaren, isn't it? McLaren. Right. I'm still... What about a clip-on mic? A clip-on mic would look good. I clip it on here and then connect it to the camera that way, but then it's too far away. Oh, I don't know. What are we talking about? Right. Quite often I'll tell you a bit of a news thing that caught my eye, and this one is ridiculous. I'll read out the headline to you. You might have caught this story. Right, you won't believe it. Here's the headline: Man who took uncle's corpse into post office to collect pension says he didn't know he was dead. He didn't know he was dead? This is in County Carlow in Ireland. How could you not know he was dead? He told people, "I'm not an idiot." What? Apparently, the story is, it was his uncle, so he said he wouldn't rob his uncle. Apparently, he must have died on the way. He was totally shell-shocked. how could that possibly happen? If you're on the way to the post office with someone, how could you not know they've died on the way? Apparently, the post office staff become alarmed when he was propped up on the counter, or leaning against the counter. He's got rigor mortis or something. I mean, yeah. Anyway, the nephew is claiming his innocence there, knew nothing about it. So I don't know what to believe. It's like a storyline. I don't want to be cliche about this. It's like a storyline in Father Ted. So you get up. Maybe he was in a wheelchair or something. You get up. You take Father Jack Hackett or whoever in the wheelchair. We're going to collect your pension now, Father, like that. And you go like that, and you get to the post office. You can't have your pension. Wait, Ed, he's dead. Well, sorry about the accents there. He's dead? Didn't you know he was dead? I'm not an idiot, you know. What do you think of that story? That is as completely insane. Have you ever done that? I don't think you have you? You haven't done that. Right. There we go. So that's sort of like what's been going on this time. So we got a new camera. I've run out a bit of time really, but next week we should be good. I got a few. Well, I always say I got a few days off, and then I sort of like run out of time again. That's just the way it goes. What was your favourite game of the week? I think my one was Wipeout 2048. Although we don't look at the we favour the retro ones. After that, Manic for Noobs, Death Chest 5000 was pretty good. So yes. This camera, if you're interested, it's still an entry-level camera. It's by Canon. It's called a Canon M50 Mark II. I think a lot of YouTubers start on this one. There's a lot to learn with the different modes and stuff and editing, but it is pretty basic still. It's a big lift from my original camera, and I only managed to get it due to the the sponsorship by you of the channel. All the money that comes in I do put separately, and I try and reinvest back in. So thank you if you ever wondered. I'm not out there buying cakes, driving limousines and dancing it with exotic belly dancers. It does get fed back in. So if we looked at a balance sheet, it would probably, it'd still probably be in the negative of what I try and do, and all the broadband and stuff as well. So mention that. If you want to become a member, then click on the join button. Huge thank you to the members already. If you can't afford to do that, that's okay. I don't feel anything worse of you. Thanks for watching the channel. It's all about the watch time as well. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing in the first of these new look videos, which I'm in a new room with a new camera, so I don't really know how it's going, but the viewfinder, the lighting doesn't look brilliant, but we'll get better on it. Hopefully the sound's worked out as well, apart from when I showed my McLaren t-shirt and then it's all like disappeared. But the Formula 1 season starts in a couple of months' time. They're just about to unveil their new cars. It's supposed to be closer. Come on, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo in McLaren. Please be the fastest car. Bring back the Senna years. So I was talking about members, aren't I? So thank you to, if you're on the second tier and above, then I will give you a shout out. Unless you don't want me to, then let me know for anything that you're doing. So thank you. So yes, here's all the people here. A few people come and go, but if you can stay for a little while, I am very pleased. As I say, on the bottom tier, if I ever got sort of like 1,000 people on that, I know that's a crazy figure compared to what I'm at the moment, but it's all about pushing it forward. Then, of course, then we're looking at full time, and we can do everything a bit properly, and yes. Anyway, that's the dream. But just be as good as what you can do. Do best of what you got. Stress busted. So big thank you this time to Jason Smith. Thank you, Jason. Tom Man Centuria. Thank you. David B73. Dogs. Thank you, sir. A big thank you to Obed Brinkman. Pete James. Jason Arnold's Terrifying House of Obsession. If you haven't already, get a chance to look at that channel. Jason does, he hasn't asked me to do a shout out, but I will do anyways. Jason Arnold's Terrifying House of Obsession. He does a lot of Doctor Who, he's done recently some Doctor Who videos as well, so check them out, they are rather cool. GTB Films, thank you. M. Barrett, thank you for your help as well, much appreciated there. Good man, helps keep me going. A big thank you to Ratty, Malad1. Thanks, guys. Arzone1255. Hope all is cool. A big hello to Alf Fairweather and the cat Poppy. Torquay Marder, Nikki S, thank you everyone, and also to Claire Johnson. Big thank you to What Ho Snorkers, who does a lot of cosplay stuff, in particular on Twitch. Again, hasn't asked me for a shout out, so I'll shout out anyway. So check him out. He's active on Twitter as well, and a real good egg. That's What Ho Snorkers. Big thank you to John Roby and Jeffrey Searby. Thank you, fellas. Lemmy Barnett. Thank you, Lemmy. Also, Steve Norman. Now, thank you, Steve. I've got a shout out here. Now, do look at this site. I couldn't give any shout outs last week because I ran out of time with the video and everything. But have a look at retroarcadia.blog, he said, turning to his other bit of paper. Retroarcadia.blog, it's a retro gaming site, sometimes modern games as well. Lots and lots of content on there. Most recently this week, Steve has looked at a Spectrum game called Elite Super Trucks, which is a rather cool game. You control Elite Super Trucks. They're quite tall, they lean around the corners, pretty hard to control sometimes, but a real cool game. See what he thinks about the game. He goes into great detail of what he thinks and what the game is about. Last week he looked at Haunted Castle. I think that's an arcade game, but didn't get time to shout it out. And also he said about games he's played this week, including a rather cool Space Invaders game that was one of my favourites on the PlayStation 3 called Infinity Gene. Well, I think that was what it was from the screenshots. It looked mightily familiar. I'm not sure if it's still available, Infinity Gene. Steve will probably be able to tell you, but it's a great, great Space Invaders game with vector graphics on occasion and some great, great end-of-level bosses. So have a look at retroarcadia.blog. Excellent, excellent. Where were we? Yes, big thank you to Steve Q. Thank you for all your help, Steve. Thanks a lot to your help. We're taking it into this new era. Next week we'll be out with the external mic on the camera. Hopefully, can you imagine me outside walking with decent sound? Amazing. Right. Maybe I can get different lenses at some point and do it from the moon. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to Phil Hill. Thanks, Phil. Huge thanks to Chono Baggy. Chono Baggy, right. We've got, check out, if you haven't already, well, if you have, check it out again in case he's put anything else up. Does a lot of cosplays, Star Wars sort of stuff, Doctor Who sort of stuff. Have a look at that if you want inspiration, you're doing stuff as well, or just want to be all round impressed. It's instagram.com/chonobaggy. That's instagram.com/chonobaggy. Have a look at that site if you're an Instagrammer, like a lot of the pictures, or follow Chono as well. You know, he's a good chap to have, and, you know, good at the cosplay and really awesome pictures as well. So yes, check that out. All how Chono Baggy. Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. You're a talented bunch, you lot. Thank you. And I just love shouting out stuff. If you're on the second tier and above and want me to shout something out, then just let me know. Either on Twitter if you're on that, Jenkins7Nick, or leave a message in the members section of that you got access to. Also, a huge thank you to Jason Holmes. Thank you, everyone. Now, on the top tier, thank you for sticking with me. All the lights. Yes, none of these are professional lights, and ooh, it shows. Thank you to Rossi Bossy. Now, thank you, Roz. If you didn't know already, he's been working on a game. Well, the site is rossbossy.itch.io. See everything that Roz is up to. It's rossbossy.itch.io. If you didn't know already, very recently he's released a free game called Re-Exevious, which is a vertical scrolling shooting up with a pounding techno soundtrack, and it's a rework in the original game Exevious. Awesome, for free, you can't go wrong. Gives you a bit of an idea of the sort of quality stuff that Roz churns out. A few good games there. Nifty Lifty 2 you can download as well, and Re-Enduro, which we reviewed. I'll have to review Re-Exevious at some stage also. But yeah, if you're waiting for Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix, which is getting better and better, it's going to be an awesome release because Roz has really attention to detail on this one. It's got a new render engine as well, which has lifted it even further. So while you're waiting for that, if you want to have a look at any of these free games, do so. Roz is a very generous chap. You can play these games today. Stress busting, and my God, they certainly do. So have a look at that. Highly recommended. Massive thank you to Colin Hold, Martin R. Thank you, fellas. Richard Mitten, and Tom, and Graham Vebke, my friend in Australia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope all is great for you lot. Now, I managed to do this on a Friday again somehow. We're back on track there. This is the first of the high-res videos, if you don't count that practice members one. They will get better and better. And then I can do some more detail. It just gives much more options too when you talk about development and keeping up with the tech. So, hope you're okay. have a great weekend. I think I'm working both the weekend days, but videos will be going up. Members will know what they are. On Saturday there's a couple of Spectrum games, and Sunday there's a couple of retro games as well. So yes, here's to the future. Next week, fingers crossed, we'll be outside, external microphone, high res and all that sort of stuff. And until next time, take great care of yourself. Watch those older vids if you want to, if you like any of them. And a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.